I'm Kelly Ruth, Mercer Director of Move Out Clean. This is Piper. There's a story that you have a connection with, and I suppose our roles as storytellers has us just wanting to have that discussion with an audience. And so having made a film without an audience means that this conversation that you've been so longing to have is never had. It's just a delight to have people take the film in and be able to give it some thought, hopefully lots of thought, but nonetheless be able to participate with you.
You've got till noon tomorrow, Jake. Jake, seriously, I know you don't care about money, but I really need my half of the damage deposit. Don't let me down.
Jeff Inverarity, the writer, wrote I think he wrote it in 2003 or 4. And he first told me about his idea to do a film about a guy doing a move out clean. Given the level of visual effects in the film, I'm happy that we were able to wait a couple of years and take advantage of all of the enormous support and resources that come through the MP Whistler Award. There was something about the germ of the idea that really spoke to me, about somebody who's transitioning in their life. To cite some references from ancient Greek storytelling, somebody coming from an unknowing place to a knowing place, getting to know themselves, which sounds a little corny, but really it's a brutal introduction. The central character has a brutal introduction to the truth of who they are in the film, and one assumes after the end of the film becomes a better man for having learned these lessons. There were, I think, almost 30 shots. It's a 12-minute film. She is not a visual effect. Waving. Some very kind of standard issue kind of visual effects in camera, some very simple things that are, have been being used since the dawn of filmmaking, to some visual effects that I didn't really even know were possible. And James Tishner really helped envision how we would basically shoot them and post them, and then John Cowley, our post, ushered all of the visual effects through post as well. Those two guys together are truly magicians. This will just take a moment. Because the film, to some degree, takes place in the central character's imagination and memory, we needed to be able to control that landscape and the audience's relationship with his moving out of his conscious and semi-conscious, having his, let's say, his conscience participate with him in the now and in the future and his fantasies and in his memories, was a really important part of the filmmaking. So that we had James and John available to us, and they so generously gave up their time to help us envision how we could move in and out. And I can't leave Lewis Lamb, our picture editor, out of that as well. He did a beautiful job of seamlessly moving us in and out of those worlds. So I can't imagine having made the film without having had those resources available, for sure. While everybody's creativity moves through their bodies in a way that's germane and unique to them, I would say it's definitely been beneficial for me to learn the technology and be able to talk about a creative moment or a creative impulse in a story moment, and be able to have the language and at least enough understanding of the technology such that you can really participate and have a dialogue with the other creatives and be cognizant, open, accepting, and not unnerved about not knowing stuff.
If you got something to say, say it.
There's something about some of the simple lessons that that have moved through really ancient storytelling that really have stuck with me, and in my master's thesis that was something that I focused in on, and I can't really seem to escape them. And regardless of what it is that I'm working on, I've really noticed that I, at the end of the day, end up back where I started, which is that Greek idea of know thyself. However much I might try to, or may have tried to escape, that seems to be really what I'm about as a storyteller.